Today's show is packed filled with great Tulsa artists, and our next Explore Tulsa guest is no exception.
Well, that's right, Trish. For the last 20 years, Impact Productions has created faith-based entertainment reaching audiences all over the world.
So let's meet the man behind the vision that makes Impact Productions.
When I graduated from Oral Roberts University, I wanted to do something that would make a difference in people's lives, and I went to work directly out of school and worked with Billy Joe Doherty, the founding pastor at Victory Christian Center. But one of the things that was always in my heart of hearts was to communicate a story that would make a difference in people's lives. So I'd heard about this dramatic dance show called Toymaker and Son. We flew, I think it was 107 students from the school and some friends from ORU. We flew up to Canada, Toronto, Canada. And we went and we saw that show that night, and I'll never forget as long as I live. It was a dramatic dance allegory of a toy maker and a son. The toys represent the people of the world. And I saw in that the most amazing demonstration of God's love in this very simple allegory. And interestingly enough, when we were done with it, I found myself just sobbing because it was such a powerful story. It was May of 1982. We started touring Toymaker. We called it Toymaker's Dream. We added a bunch of about $500,000 in lasers and special effects, and we toured that show for the next 16 years, going all over the world, places like China, Cuba, the former Soviet Union, Romania, Bulgaria, places you couldn't go and basically talk about God in an open format. And I'll never forget, I'd pulled into New York City. We were performing off-Broadway in the Lambs Theater there. And there was this article in the theater section about Yul Brynner. And it said, Yul Brynner is the most celebrated performer in Broadway history. He had performed The King and The King and I 2,800 times over 10 years in front of nearly 4 million people. And I know that was to celebrate a huge accomplishment. And when I read that, it had just the opposite effect. I went, oh my gosh. I really wanted to reach the world. And I literally left the road 2 weeks later and began to study video and film and making television commercials and things that way, because I said, you know, I want to share with a broader audience. Hello, I'm Tom Newman.
And I'm Mark Swanson.
And Mark directed this film.
And Tom produced the film.
So I look for good ideas that I believe are going to move people in such a way that will cause them to be better people, cause them to be more sharing with their neighbors, basically to pick up more of the golden rule. I always look for stories that basically let people know that God loves them.
This is not a show you would see in that big city of yours.
Do not be afraid. I bring you good news of great joy, which will be unto all people.
Technology is rapidly changing. One of the big things for me was make the transition from film to digital. You know, as a film producer, when you say film producer, very few people actually produce on film anymore, so I don't know if many people will ever be able to really say that in years to come. But it costs a lot of money to shoot film, and for anybody who doesn't know it, you put these big reels, there's these 1,000-foot megs on your camera, and it rolls about 8 minutes, and you just kind of shot through 150, 200 bucks, and that's before processing it. And now you put a digital camera and take a little chip and you stick it in the camera and you roll, and you roll, and you roll, and 40 minutes later you pull that little thing out. And I don't like anything we used on this, or download it, dump it back into your system, and then stick it back in the camera and roll again. There's no cost. Well, it opens up the world for people that have good ideas, and I think in the years to come we'll see a major transition in the industry with people who are content providers, people who really have something to say and they know how to say it well. That's the beauty of this technology. It does give those people a shot as well.
Okay, get back in there, step up to the plate, hit the ball.
Okay.
All right. Time. Okay. Nothing great happens when you hold back. Okay, let's go. Come on.
I feel like Home Run is entertaining, but it also is a value-based, very strong value-based picture on what it intends to do to help move people a certain direction. So many people have been hurt, from divorce, alcoholism, being left alone, just separation issues. We've all gone through life's hurts, habits, and hang-ups, and I think Celebrate Recovery is an amazing organization that helps people that way. So that's why we elected to make that film and move it forward. Christmas Candle is a story about Christmas, first of all. It's about an angel who comes and touches a candle in a candle maker's shop every 25 years. And whoever has lit this candle and prayed their Advent prayers during the Christmas holiday season, their prayer has been answered. So you can imagine the amount of people who want this candle, the amount of requests. It just sets up a perfect storm. But it's, you know, my primary purpose in making it is to say, listen, miracles happen every day to people all over. We got an amazing cast, I'll just say it that way. I've never had the privilege of working with such experienced, well-known actors as I did on this film. And shooting in England, working with British film crews, our director of photography spent the last 11 years of his life on Harry Potter. And so from Harry Potter to our little movie, we were thrilled to have Mike Brewster. I think it's the best work I've ever done. Very excited about it. We'll be releasing somewhere between right before Thanksgiving this year in theaters nationwide.